Hello, Anthony.
Hello, Claudine.
How are you?
I'm great. We are finally back.
We are with new lighting, and I think it makes us look
New
younger
lighting.
and thinner.
More dramatic, more powerful.
Yes.
Yeah, for some of our followers, we have been off the air for a little bit. We had to do a big project on a website reconfiguration.
But we're back. So we want to talk about, there's been some updates. We've talked about this passport revocation law, but there's been some big movement, which we've seen. Now, we'll talk about the basics of the law, about some of the updates, and why, if you've been procrastinating, you may have to take action sooner than later.
That's right.
Okay, so the law actually passed back on December 4th, 2015. So it's really taken a while to get some legs under it.
2016?
No.
Really?
2015.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
It did. You're right.
Yep. So
it's
called
right.
the FAST Act, and it gives the Secretary of State the ability to refuse or revoke passports to seriously delinquent taxpayers.
Yeah, that's what's crazy. That's how time passes. I was swearing that was a typo, but right, it was passed. And it took that long to get up to this. And we've been warning people like, look, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And finally, you saw the update, the IRS updated their website. And I saw that the Drudge Report finally had a link to it as well the other day. So I think people are starting to learn about it. And by learning about it, it also requires you to put your head in the sand and pretend the problem isn't there, because it is there. And I think you want to, people end up trying to pretend the law won't happen because it's so crazy.
Yeah, it's very crazy. It's really stupid, honestly. So what is a seriously delinquent tax debt? It's an unpaid federal tax debt totaling more than $50,000 that does include penalties and interest.
Right. And we did some calculations in a previous podcast where we showed how somebody who only owed $16,000, I think in 1996, how that debt could still be here and now be over $50,000.
Yep. Now, if you are currently paying it under, say, an installment or agreement or offer in compromise, you're fine. If a collection due process hearing is requested, you're safe. If collection's been suspended because a request for innocent spouse relief has been put in, those are instances where your passport will not be denied. So before they deny your passport, the State Department is going to hold your application for 90 days to allow you to resolve any certification issues or make a full payment of the tax debt. So they are going to give you a written notice stream. It's not going to be like you show up at the airport and, oh my God, we've had clients reach out to us. They're like, I'm going to travel and am I going to end up at the airport? No, that's most likely not going to happen.
But if they're sending all the notices to an address, your last known address that you don't get, it could go like that. And
I read an update that before they revoke your passport, they can actually change the status so you can only travel back to the United States. And that's before they revoke it.
Before they
revoke it, they can make changes to it. Also an update, the IRS will not reverse the certification because the taxpayer pays the debt below $50,000. So you can't pay $10 off $50,000 and they're like, oh, okay, you're fine.
But if you did that before, let's say your debt is $55,000 and then you pay it below, now you could have it underneath that 45.
That's true.
Once it's gone, it's going to be a process to get it back.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Now, there's the new link on irs.gov. We're going to put it below in the description of this video so you can check it out. I've basically been checking it every day. At the very top, it says, quote, the IRS has not yet started certifying tax debt to the State Department. Certifications to the State Department will begin in early 2017, and this webpage will be updated to indicate when this process has been implemented. So, we're already in we're in February. So early 2017.
Okay.
Now, they say that if the IRS certified your debt to the State Department and you don't agree with it, you can file suit in the U.S. Tax Court or U.S. District Court to have the court determine whether the certification is erroneous or if the IRS failed to reverse the certification when it was required to do so. But that just seems like a ton of work. So you have to file a suit in court. That seems like a pretty lengthy process to say, wait, guys, you screwed up. I don't know that much.
Maybe this is where I talk about procrastination.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a good place because let me tell you what's going to happen here. This is, I would ask any of you, and do you know of a time when the government got all their processes correct? Okay. You're probably going to say, no, I don't think so. I think the government makes mistakes, and I think that's a reasonable assumption to make. Well, in cases, the IRS is going to certify cases incorrectly. I know it. It's going to happen. And now, to get that undone is going to be very difficult, because if your certification is not done correctly, you'll get a notice to respond to, and you'll have certain appeal rights to get into tax court. Well, if you never get that notice, because again, all of these could come to an old address. You don't necessarily have to know it's going to happen. All the IRS needs to do is prove they sent you these notices. If they do that, and their proof is basically our computer system did. Our computer system tells us we did. They actually don't know if that letter ever got to you. There's no one there to make sure. It's not like a sheriff serving you the lawsuit. They have to make service at your house. I left it there. I gave it to them in person, or I left it at their house. It's just by mail and certified mail sometimes, not for everything. So if you don't respond to all those notices, the IRS has wrongfully taken away your passport. What option do you have left? You don't have tax court. You only have tax court if you exhaust your administrative remedies. Well, not responding to these notices is failing to exhaust your administrative remedies.
Oh.
By definition, you don't have tax court. You have tax court if you respond, but if you respond and there was an error, there is more likely that you'll be able to demonstrate, oh, hey, you guys got this all wrong. You got it all wrong. But if you don't respond and it's gone, now your option is to go to federal court. So let me tell you about federal court. There's a reason why tax court was invented, because federal court is so expensive. If you're going to bring a suit against the federal government, don't expect the federal government to say, hey, wow, looking at these, I think we've been acting like real jerks. Hey, yeah, you're totally right. Let's get rid of this. No, that is basically what never happens. The attorneys who work for the federal government fight tooth and nail for the federal government that, man, if we lose this one case, everything is going to collapse. They are so adamant about winning. They're coming all guns blazing. They're all trying to out-impress each other. They're all looking to say, hey, look how good I'm doing. Look, I'll fight for the government even though when I know they're damn wrong, because I know that's what superiors are looking for. They don't want an attorney who says, well, I used my discretion in this case because I thought that it was really unfair in the light of the circumstances. No. No, little one, you're there. I want to see how crazy you're going to be. I'm going to see how crazy you are. Let me be the one to tell you if we should back off. But when I say go, I want you to kill.
Now, how much would it cost in general to go to
Well, do you want to win?
Court?
Do you want to win?
Yeah.
So ask yourself, do you want to win? If you want to win, I would say it's going to cost you probably $50,000.
Wow.
$50,000 for
well, then
a
you
good
could just
attorney.
pay off your tax debt.
Yeah, right. That's where you are. If you have the resources to beat the federal government in federal court, you have the resources to take care of this problem yourself right now.
So it's going to be easy for them to take advantage of the little guy.
Right. And it's this is going to happen. And then, there's going to be, now when this happens, now it's going to be pleading and calls. Now, maybe eventually somebody will get around to fixing it. Maybe the taxpayer advocate will step in. Hey, guys, what are you doing here? We got to, get this off. They don't have to listen to the taxpayer advocate. They could say, yeah, we don't care. We don't care what you say. So you're really you're really putting yourself in a vulnerable situation. And the thing is, this is sort of how things work. In our business, there are so many people, and I don't know if it's the majority of people who contact us, but the majority of people who contact us only deal with a tax problem when they have to. And it makes our job a little bit harder because we're up against a deadline. Either we have to get money back, the IRS levied. We have to get a lien off, which can be very difficult after the fact. It's easier before. And now, with this, we have to get passports back. And if you just came to us earlier, hey, I've been delaying a little bit. I know I should have taken care of this here. Here. I haven't been levied, or my passport hasn't been gone. And was it too late for me to call you? No. That's a great time. Nothing bad has happened except letters. Great.
It reminds me of the way that a lot of people deal with medical issues. And I've said this before, like you have a cough for a while. You may smoke.
Yeah.
And you cough for a few years and you're like, oh, I should get this checked out. But it's not. I mean, you're just coughing, right? That's what you
Yeah.
tell yourself. It's just a cough. And then maybe you start having some sort of chest pains and you're like, well, maybe it's from this or maybe it's from that. And then one day you start coughing up blood. And that's the day you call the doctor, and it could be too late.
Right, and that's something that says, well, coughing up blood is something I have to take care of. I know that means probably death soon. And how many people that the time, like, I meant to go to the doctor, they're in the emergency room. The first doctor they're seeing about a medical issue is the emergency room doctor. Because, well, I didn't have to deal with it. I was able to suffer through the pain. I think dentists have probably the same. I know my dentist has the same issue.
Yeah.
People like, yeah, they're not going to deal with it until they have to. And I can kind of fall into that camp too. But again, he's like, no, you come in before it's an absolute disaster.
Yep.
And there is that, the whole procrastination, and this is the number one thing. I wish I had a magic wand to help people who are procrastinating that, okay, I messed up, the IRS problem, I messed up, but by admitting the problem now, all I'm going to have to do is admit what a loser, jerk, whatever I am, failure, and it just brings up all these bad emotions. And this is the thing. I tried myself when there's something I'm procrastinating about, just shut up and do it. Just shut up right now.
And it's usually not as bad as you think it's going to be.
Oh, no, it's not. No, and then I think in life, all the things that you dread the most turn out not to be so bad. It's the things you had no idea were coming. And, the way the IRS works, they false sense of security, because there's people right now, there's going to be hundreds of thousands of people right now who have this belief. Yeah, the IRS isn't that bad. Because, they sent me all these notices and stuff. I just don't respond to them. You know what? I found the secret. I found the secret for dealing with the IRS problem. Just don't do anything. And look, and for years, you are 100% correct. Look what happened. Nothing happened. Until
something happens.
Something happens, because the IRS, they have limited resources. They can't go after everyone who owes them a buck. They have to wait until it's big enough. Well, guess what? Penalties and interest are running. Now suddenly it's big enough. And when it's big enough, well, they already sent all the notices they needed to. Hey, we already did when it was small. We sent you all the notices when it's small.
Yep.
Now it's big. So, hey, here we are.
And I have one last good reason here why people shouldn't procrastinate. Let me read you something from the passport page on the website. I love this. So if you need your U.S. passport to keep your job, once your seriously delinquent tax debt is certified, you must fully pay the balance or make an alternative payment arrangement to keep your passport. So basically, they're saying if you need your U.S. passport to keep your job, you're out of luck. It's like a really nicely well-written, mean statement. Oh, you need your job? It's really important? Too effing bad. We're still going to take your passport.
You're right. It's possible to get it, but you're going to end up doing much more work. It's really not giving you an additional.
No, it's no
giving
different.
you nothing.
No.
It gives you nothing. Like, oh, you need it for your job. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, I'm going to treat you just like all these other guys that really don't need it.
So what I need you to do is go to the back of the line. Okay.
And take a number.
Take a number, and we'll get to you when we get to you. And that's really the thing, is like what you're doing. And, wouldn't you like, and I would just use this as the DMV analogy. Connecticut, we're in Connecticut. Connecticut has the worst DMV apparently in the country. Reddit had a whole thread about it. And it's something that I live with. So I just like, yeah. And the people were astounded that there's Dunkin' Donuts inside
the
DMV because there's a captive market, right? That's how bad it is. And people are like, no way. And I think they even sell hamburgers. I'm not sure if it's a Dunkin' Donuts, but there is a large vendor in there because your wait time,
hours.
So if you go at 7:00 in the morning, there's going to be a line about 100 deep
outside.
Yeah, outside. So you'll probably, if you get there at 7:00 in the morning, you'll probably be done around 11, 12. If you get there at 12, you might not make it. They might give you a ticket. Hey, come back tomorrow. So it's really one of the worst things in the world. So whenever you have to get a car registered, you have to go, a new car you registered, you have to go there. And then what was interesting is the Connecticut DMV website shut down. And there was delays on that. Like, wait a second, there's a wait online too? What is going on here? So it's a really big disaster. Now, here's the thing though. If you're going for a license renewal, you don't have to go to the DMV. Our AAA, American Automobile Association, you're able to go there.
Yeah.
And if you're a member, it's a free service. And if you're not, you have to pay $3. to get it done. And I would say you would have to be the biggest fool in the world not to go to AAA. Because I had to get mine done last September, and I took my older son with me, Ulysses, with me. I was like, oh, let's just go. Let's see, I have you with me. I don't know. It shouldn't be too much of a pain in the butt, and the wait shouldn't be that bad. So it was right at, middle of the day, 2 o'clock. Just walk in there, and I'm looking around, and there's one person at the counter. She asked me, well, can I help you with it? I'm like, yeah, I just want to renew my license. Okay, step over here. Step over here? Sure. And I had my son with me, and I was like, could he just stand right next to me right here? He was right below in the picture. Obviously he doesn't show up for the face shot. But it was really one of the most pleasurable experiences in my life. I would have paid $100.
Now, dealing with a tax issue is never going to be pleasurable, but you can make it easier.
Right, and that's sort of the analogy. It's like, do you want to go? It's like, here it is. If you wait and you wait, you're going to be dealing with sort of a DMV system worse than Connecticut's DMV, where you might wait all day and they'll give you a ticket. Yeah, you can come up tomorrow, or maybe they won't give you a ticket. Well, just, we'll be open tomorrow. Maybe you'll get in. Or if you deal with it now before your passport is revoked, you're going to be going in style. Yep. You're going to be the guy going into the, hey, here's the exclusive. This is for our first-class passengers over here. Come on over here.
I'm already in, and I just got an offer and compromise.
Yeah, here you go. This is great.
Sorry about that.
We're going to take care of everything for you. Just do this step here. This is the next step. That's all you need to do is this step right here. And that's what we try to do with our clients. Just one thing we need to do right now. Just this.
Yep.
And then step by step by step until it's done.
Yep. Now, we don't know exactly how this process is going to work. We don't know if eventually, if you show up at the airport, if you've received all the notices and they've taken your passport. We don't know how it's going to work yet. We haven't got a lot of details about the exact steps, but we're keeping an eye on the website. We're going to check daily and make sure that we do updates as soon as we see anything that's changed. If you're concerned about a tax debt, you want to know if maybe, your passport might get revoked, then definitely reach out to us sooner than later, because like Anthony said, the sooner you get this done, the easier it's going to be. We are at 888-727-8796. You can email us, info@irsmedic.com. Check out irsmedic.com. We just launched a new web platform, so we love feedback. Lots of great information on the blog. And you can like and comment below. We'll respond to your comments. We want to thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for updates. IRS Medic, the law offices of Parent and Parent LLP. Real tax attorneys for tough tax problems.